What up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith, and welcome to the Nerdy Narrative. On this channel, I like to talk about all sorts of bookish related things and the many different genres that I like to read in. On today's episode of Fun, I'm going to do the last 10 books tag. I first saw this tag over on Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and I told Andrew, you didn't tag me, but I'm gonna have to tag myself because it looked like a really fun tag. I've been seeing it make its way around BookTube, and I've just really enjoyed watching it by everybody who's done it so far. So I wanted to jump in, participate, and keep it going. Prompt number 1. What was the last book you didn't finish? Christy Lewis, if you're watching, I need you to cover your eyes for a minute because the last book I did not finish is Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. It's too long. It's too long. It really should have had about 300 pages lopped off of it. I found it funny and entertaining for about the first 350 pages. The author just kept bringing us right to the brink of an event that we know has to be coming the entire story, and then he'd be like, nah, never mind, let me distract you by bringing in another little subplot line. And I just got tired of it and I couldn't take it anymore. I had too many other books I was interested in reading, and I just was tired of spending time on this one. Prompt number 2. What was the last book you reread? I was actually quite shocked by this. Gideon the Knight by Tamsin Muir. I reread Gideon the Knight in preparation to read Harrow the Knight, and then I never picked up Harrow the Knight. It's still sitting there on the shelf to be read. I do have plans to get to Harrow the Knight this year, but I'm gonna have to reread Gideon the Knight again. And when I say reread, I mean the audiobook format, because the last time I reread it, I listened to it on audiobook, and the narrator was amazing. She brought the snark for Gideon and Harrow to life. It was perfection. So I think I'm going to have to do yet another reread because I just can't go into Harrow the Knight without coming in fresh from a Gideon read. I just can't do it. Prompt number 3. What was the last book you bought? And that would be the second book in the new Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy by Timothy Zahn, Greater Good. At time of filming, I actually just picked this one up yesterday. Prompt number 4. What's the last book you said you read but didn't? Are there people who say they read books that they didn't read? What's the purpose of that? Obviously, if you say you read something, someone who has actually read it is going to want to talk to you about it and ask you questions, and they're going to find out very quickly you didn't read the book. Why would you do that? What's the point? It's not like you benefit from saying you read a book that you didn't read. I'm so confused by this. Why is that a question? Are people doing this? Like, why would you do that? Especially if you're on BookTube, because that is an excellent way to lose credibility. I'm confused. Prompt number 5. What was the last book you wrote in the margins of? So, I do not write in my books. I don't. The only thing I can think of that would come close to writing in a book is in my copy of The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I highlighted a passage. Does that count? That's as close as I got. And I actually bought this one with the purpose of writing in it. It's kind of like a textbook with really large margins on the pages. So I think it's meant to. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I highlighted that one passage and went right back to just making notes in my notebook. 6. Prompt number 6. What was the last book you had signed? That depends on your definition of signed. If you count a book plate as being signed, then it would be the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. I picked these up from the Broken Binding. But if you're like me and you don't count book plates, to you, signed by the author means the book was actually signed by the author, then I'm going to have to go with my leather-bound Way of Kings that I got through the Kickstarter, which is signed by Brandon Sanderson. So this one is my most recent signed by the author. Prompt number 7. What was the last book you lost? I have never lost a book in my life because I do not loan my books out. If you get a book from me, it is a gift. I would much rather buy you your own copy than lend you mine because, I don't trust people with my books. I treat my books very well. I like them to be in pristine condition, and I understand not everybody feels that way about their books. You can tear up your book. You're not going to tear up my book. And let's see. Prompt number 8. What was the last book you had to replace? And that would be Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. So when Chris and I moved from Mississippi to Florida, we rented a big truck with the goal of making one trip to move. So I donated almost my entire collection of books. And that was a mistake. It really was. It was a huge mistake. But that's okay. That's okay. I don't regret donating them. I regret donating as many as I did. Like, you know, all of the romance novels and historical fictions, those can go with no problems. But I accidentally donated my Francine Rivers collection, which that was an accident. She is my favorite Christian fiction writer, and that was a huge mistake. So I repurchased it, and I made sure to repurchase the exact cover that I have, which this is the original cover when it first came out. But because so many men had issue with the girly cover, they didn't give the story a chance. They did come out with a few other variations of the cover, but I wanted this one because this book is one of my favorite books of all time. It is a beautiful retelling of the book of Hosea from the Old Testament, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful story of unconditional love. Even if you are not a religious person, a story about unconditional love is still a great story. Prompt number 9. What is the last book you had an argument over? And I will have to return to the Banished Lands with Malice from The Faithful and the Fallen. The argument can actually span the Faithful and the Fallen series, but I chose Malice because Malice is all that Klaus has read. And this is his proof that he says Veritas is a stupid character. And all of the rest of us in the Library of Alexandria Discord and Shelf Space have told Klaus, if you would just finish the series, you will understand that Veritas is not stupid. He is one of the best characters of this series. Hands down, no question. I will die on that hill. So guys, for those of you that are fans of The Faithful and the Fallen and you love Veritas, please go over to Klaus's channel. I will have him linked below. He is the Contradictorian on YouTube. Please go to his channel, comment on all of his videos that Veritas is not done and to just finish the series. And let's see. And so the final prompt, prompt number 10. What was the last book you couldn't get hold of? I don't think there is one. With all of the many places you can go to get books, whether new or used, I don't believe I've had a problem not being able to get a book that I wanted. If I can't get it from a bookstore, I've had success getting it through places like Book Depository or Thrift Books, eBay, things like that. I don't recall there being a book that I couldn't get hold of. Nothing's coming to me. And guys, that will do it for the last 10 books tag. I thought it was cute. I really enjoyed watching it on all of the channels that I have found it on so far. Just to keep this going, I'm going to tag a few folks. Mason from Mason in the Dark. If you guys are not already subscribed to Mason, you will absolutely love him. I will have him linked below. I will also tag Andrew from Get Right On In. I know that Andrew recently moved and has been doing a whole lot of stuff with his travel channel, getting that set back up. But I know he's been doing a little reading, so I think this would be a good way for him to update us on what he's been up to. And then to round it off with a third person to tag, I will tag Kate from the Literary Apothecary. You guys are all tagged. I can't wait to see your versions. For everyone else, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this little tag as much as I enjoyed making it for you. I hope your morning got off to a great start. I hope the rest of your day is absolutely fantastic. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.